Welcome and thank you for joining us on Birth Mother Matters in Adoption with Kelly Rourke-Scary and me, Ron Rains, where we delve into the issues of adoption from every angle of the adoption triad.
Do what's best for your kid and for yourself, because if you can't take care of yourself, you're definitely not going to be able to take care of that kid, and that's not fair. And I know that my daughter will be well taken care of with them.
Don't have an abortion. Give this child a chance.
All I could think about was needing to save my son.
My name is Kelly Rourke-Scary. I am the Executive Director, President, and co-founder of Building Arizona Families Adoption Agency, the Donna K. Evans Foundation, and creator of the You Before Me campaign. I have a bachelor's degree in family studies and human development and a master's degree in education with an emphasis in school counseling. I was adopted at the age of 3 days, born to a teen birth mother, raised in a closed adoption, and reunited with my birth mother in 2007. I have worked in the adoption field for over 15 years.
And I'm Ron Rains. I've worked in radio since 1999. I was the co-host of 2 successful morning shows in Prescott, Arizona. Now I work for my wife, who's an adoption attorney, and I'm able to combine these 2 great passions and share them on this podcast.
You know, open adoption has really become the trend, and I love that. I always encourage open adoption when moms come in, unless there is a reason that closed adoption would really benefit the entire triad. I really push and encourage open adoption.
Right.
I think it's beautiful. It often begins with promises and commitments on everybody's part and on behalf of the birth mother and the adoptive parents. When an adoption is finalized, there is something called a post-adoption communication agreement, and this is entered into the adoption decree as well. Some states make it legally enforceable. Other states, it's not legally enforceable, but it's still an agreement that is entered into the court.
Now, where does Arizona stand with the enforceability?
It is legally enforceable.
Okay.
It is.
And that's why when there's an adoption out of state, they kind of go by Arizona's.
Well, it depends on where the adoption is finalized.
Okay.
So you can take an Arizona. So in other words, if you're going to finalize in a state that doesn't enforce the post-adoption communication agreement, you can still have one. It's just not enforced in that state. In
the other state.
So because that's where it's finalized. Now, Arizona doesn't finalize out-of-state adoptions here. That's not something that we as a state do.
Right.
So it's not like if you were in X state that doesn't recognize them as legally enforceable that you could then do in Arizona. You can't do that.
But generally speaking, the adoptive parents and the birth mother, to some degree at least, try to follow the
absolutely
guides of the
And
PACA.
What's so interesting to me is oftentimes birth mothers are very worried that the adoptive families won't follow through on their end and they won't stick with the plan. Mm-hmm. And what's so interesting is, in my experience, it's actually not the adoptive families.
More often than not, it's the birth mother.
Right. And it's not that she has a commitment that she has to follow. I mean, she's not obligated to provide letters and pictures, but sometimes it's tough. And sometimes she just needs a little bit of a break to clear her head and find peace again. Families often struggle with the lack of communication after a birth mother has placed a baby for adoption. They want that communication. You know, both sides were fearful prior to the adoption happening,
right,
of what it was going to look like and how it was going to really pan out. You know, some adoptive families have the irrational fear of a birth mother is going to come and knock on the window and take the baby, and that's not reality. The woman is placing the baby with you because she wants the baby with you.
Right.
She's not placing the baby with you so she can come in the middle of the night and take the baby back. That's not what this is. And the birth mothers are afraid that the adoptive families are going to take the babies and cut off all communication. And again, that's not what we see. Has it ever happened in situations where there was a concern on behalf of the adoptive family about the appropriateness of the relationship and the behavior and so forth around the child? In that situation, I have seen there be a disconnect for a while, and then that would have been deemed appropriate.
In what you've seen, does that usually change? Like, okay, so if they disconnect, you said for a while, does that ever...
Sure. So let's say that a birth mother has had a visit with the child, and maybe she came high to the visit and was not really appropriate, the family may be hesitant to do that again for a while. And, if the birth mother then becomes clean and is able to resume the visitation.
Okay. So then it'll kind of self-correct.
Yes.
Okay.
And that happens sometimes. And I can't say how often I see an adoption set up with the parameters, letters and pictures. And as an agency, we use Child Connect. So it's its own entity. Mm-hmm. And they start off on one level, and then it just takes off and it blossoms into this beautiful relationship.
Wow.
And it's no longer, letters and pictures 3 times a year. It's, no, we have separate phone lines that we set up that we talk on, and we exchange pictures.
The bat line,
and
the adoption bat line. Okay.
Absolutely. And, it's beautiful. And that's always the goal, is to have this relationship where it's extended family, not co-parenting, but extended family.
Right. Like she's part of the family as well. The birth mother is, right?
Right. When a birth mother chooses open adoption, she has the ability to watch her child grow and thrive and not wonder or worry about what's happening. The birth mother's current and future children have the opportunity to connect with that child. The birth mother can feel confident that she, will have contact between the family and her child. She knows that that's going to happen. Having a secure and positive relationship with the adoptive parents can help her feel really confident and reassured in her adoption choice. That brings a lot of peace. It also brings peace to the adoptive family when a birth mother is in the life, because when they adopt the baby, they in essence fall in love with the birth mother because of this beautiful gift they've given them. She's made them a family.
Right.
And they love her and they care about her. And when she distances herself, if she chooses to, because she's struggling, sometimes it's very hard. We have adoptive families where the birth mothers have drifted away, calling us saying, have you heard from her? Have you had any contact with her? Has she come and checked on the pictures? Have you heard anything? We're really worried. So, maybe the open adoption was not really with the birth mother vision. Maybe she really wanted to, place the baby, know the baby was safe and in a good home and move on with her life.
Right.
And she wasn't ready to really take on this new relationship. And she didn't realize that until afterwards. Sometimes she just needs time. Sometimes it's not that the adoptive family's done anything wrong. It's not that she regrets any of aspects of her decision.
Her choice, right.
It just, she just may need time.
Well, I think that's, I don't know, maybe this is analogous or maybe it's not, but like when my son was, in his teens and in high school, I didn't hear from him a whole lot. And he was hanging out with friends, doing his thing, doing homework and doing school. And it worried me. And I thought, I would call, I wouldn't get a call back. I'd text, or actually it was more email at the time. But I would, try and stay in contact without being overbearing. But yeah, it's scary. It's like, am I going to have a son? Is he done with me?
I think that's totally a great analogy.
Because he did. He did come back to me and he's like, I want to hang out and I want to do that. And it was kind of at a perfect time because it even now thinking about the situation, I'm kind of getting teared up.
It was just a season.
Yeah. It was a season in his life, exactly, like we've talked about.
Right. And I think that's exactly what it is. That there are seasons in life where you and him may be thick as thieves and super close. And there may be other seasons where you're not as close.
And it doesn't mean the love's not there or the respect or anything else.
No, it just means at that time in your life that it's, And
I want to start playing the Cats in the Cradle or something.
Don't, because I'm going to start. That song gets me every single time.
Oh, it's the best and worst at the same time.
I'm going to go with worst because it's just the parental guilt.
Yeah. Yeah.
The parental guilt of all the would have, should have, could have.
Dad?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Little tangent there.
No, absolutely. So because open adoption is beneficial for both sides, the birth mother and the adoptive family, I think that when a birth mother starts to drift away, the most important thing you can do is remain constant and consistent.
Keep putting those pictures
Keep putting
on
the pictures and
Child
letters
Connect
up. Give her time. reassure her in the messages, you're not going anywhere, that you're here, and that you love her enough to wait for her.
And you've talked before about how sometimes they'll come back after a long time and just be inundated with pictures and letters that they hadn't seen yet for the past, 6 months. And it just, I think that's kind of neat, because it's always there.
It is. It
even
is.
when
It
you're
is
not
neat.
looking.
And sometimes when they come back after and they resurface, they come back after not being there for a while and they see the letters and pictures, they're in a different place in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And they're able to take the relationship to another level. Whereas maybe they had to go and grow in their own life and find themselves
Right.
before they were able to be the person, to be a part of the open adoption that they really wanted to be. And I think that, like you said, that adolescent stage where it's hard on parents, but again, it's kind of a blessing because if they didn't pull away a little bit in adolescence, we'd never let them leave at 18, right?
Right.
And so it's like preparing, to push the eagle out of the nest and
Fly, baby bird. Yeah.
and you just hope and pray that they will. And I think you kind of have to do the same thing with a birth mom. When she ghosts or just takes off,
Right.
you hope that she will fly. And you hope that she'll return to her nest.
You just want that nest always to be there ready for her to come back.
And I would say just stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And just because she's not emotionally, physically, mentally present in the relationship doesn't mean the relationship's over or it stops.
Right.
It just means that she needs some time.
She's in that season.
Yes.
Okay.
And you got to let her fly.
Hi, my name is Sherelle. I'm doing my adoption journey. It was kind of like a last minute thing to consider because I just, in my mind, me and my husband was going through some issues, separation issues. How we have 3 other children. Still in denial. Well, I'm pregnant again, but I was in my first trimester, and I knew in my heart I didn't want to abort my baby. So I was looking for other options, and my friend mentioned, why don't you Google and look for adoption agency? So I did, and it had a general one that was in California. And then I kept going down the list, and then I found BAF, and then I called just right away. I think it was like 3 or something in the afternoon, and look, I called, and they was like, oh, yeah, you could come right now. We closed at 4:30, but you could come right now, and it was just like perfect. So we hurried up and drove to the office of BAF, and then I met one of the agents here for the first time, and she, confided in me, went through the process, just let me know, hey, it's a good choice, making a good choice, and everything, all the expenses and benefits of the family, and let me know that, hey, I get to pick the family. So we was able to, go down the line. I think we had 3 families to pick, and me and my husband, just like, this family kind of mirror the type of lifestyle we are, 'cause we are family oriented, and we like to travel and stay physically active, and they look like they was doing a lot of that, and I read a little bit of their story, and we went ahead, picked them, and I would say from this day that I am happy with the decision I made, that we picked this family. I only say it's an open adoption. I said I call them the extended family. They got to meet my other 3 kids. They know who they are. They communicate with us, send us pictures, even little videos here, and they let me know, like, hey, if you're going through tough, don't be afraid to, send a message to me or reach out to me. So I love that because it does feel like they are an extended part of our family. We're not just, giving our child here, we'll see pictures here and there. Really a part of the family. So if anything, I said we got a win-win situation, and we put our child up there, know that he'll be taken care of, and then we got blessed with another part of the family too as well. So I'm very happy with the decision I made, and I'm glad that at the time, whatever emotional decision I was feeling my husband, that I didn't agree, say, hey, let's just let go of our child, because that decision was not an option for me. Even though we did have 3 other children, we was in a situation that could go left or right. I was stressing God, like, no, I'm not going to give it a shot. Either, we're going to find a family for him, or we're just going to toughen it out. And I was grateful because I couldn't be AF. They had counseling and let me know, hey, it's okay, decision happens in life. They relax me, because as women especially, and that's like our emotions and hormones are like here, you get anxious and worried like, oh, what if? And it's helped me to relax and not think about the what ifs, but look at the positive, even cite positive affirmation like, hey, you're a good mother, you have 3 other ones, you're doing a good thing. And I love that, and a lot of people don't say it, but counseling is good. Some people get the wrong option about, it's a mediator. But actually, it really is. It's more than just being a mediator in a situation. It's helping you emotionally and mentally, stay stable. And I'm grateful for BF for that. They was there to emotionally support me. And even I was upset at my husband at the time, grateful that he did come and was there to support me during my time for us, to give birth to our son. And I'm grateful for that. I think I made a very good decision with that. So I love BAF for that. They have been there to support me in many ways, not just emotionally to help make decisions with housing or finances. They support you in all ways to make you feel that you're, genuinely, you're important. I'm important. I'm not just a mother out there giving up a child. So I'm happy for that.
We have a pregnancy crisis hotline available 24/7 by phone or text at 623-695-4112, or you can call our toll-free number 1-800-340-9665. We can make an immediate appointment with you to get you to a safe place, provide food and clothing, and started on creating an Arizona adoption plan or give you more information. You can check out our blogs on our website at azpregnancyhelp.com. Thank you for joining us on Birth, Mother Matters, and Adoption, written and produced by Kelly Rourke-Scary and edited by me, Ron Rains. If you enjoy this podcast, rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts. And as always, thanks to Grapes for letting us use their song I Don't Know as our theme song. Join us next time for Birth, Mother Matters, and Adoption. For Kelly Rourke-Scary, I'm Ron Rains, and we'll see you then.